Hello. Welcome, welcome. I am hopping on to go live with you today to create a fun little craft. I am going to create a raised tray, tiered tray. So I don't know if you've seen the tiered tray craze, but seems like everyone's decorating these cute little tiered trays and I don't have one. I've got a metal one, but it doesn't function as well, and honestly I don't have all the space needed for a tiered tray, so I thought I'd make just kind of a raised tray and decorate with that, and I can use it pretty much anywhere in tight spaces. So I thought I would show you what I'm doing today. So as you're able to hop on, say hi, let me know you're watching and where you're watching from. Now I'm gonna just double check my settings here. Alright, where am I at? 1 second. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we got volume. We've got people joining. Hi, Bonnie. We'll see, make sure I can try and see comments here. But before we get going, I would just like to ask you if you could give me some thumbs up or hearts. Let me know that you like this video. If you want to spread inspiration to others who might like this, go ahead and spread the joy and S-H-A-R-E the video. And then as always, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. I always love seeing how far the video goes and where it ends up in the world, so say hi. Okay, and then before we get going on the project, I do want to mention that we do have some of the bunny buckets left, and those are our Easter baskets that we made for kids. So they're a kids activity Easter basket and they're art centered. So let me grab that real quick. So here you can kind of get a view of it above. So we've got 15 boy baskets left and then 15 girl baskets. And the boy baskets have a stump plane in it and a little package of building blocks. They also come with 4 eggs, a little wood garland that the kids can paint. They comes with a pre-drawn canvas, 8 by 10. It comes with just a blank canvas, so their imagination, whatever they want to paint on that. It also comes with a little packet of paint, brushes, and then self-adhered little pom-poms if they want to put pom-poms on their bunny garland. There's that. It comes with a fruit snack, a fruit juice. The eggs are filled with candy, comes with just a little baggie of additional candy and other little trinkets, and just and then a little notebook of different activities that they can do, and a pencil, one of these pop pencils. And these are so funny because I remember having these as a kid. So once one pencil is done, you pop it off and put it to the back. Who remembers these? So it comes with a pencil. So that's the boy kits. They're $27. And you can go to my website, redbirddesigns.com, go to the shop, and they are listed there. And then the girl baskets have the play foam in them. Everything is the same except for the play foam. And then it has a packet of scented markers. But everything else is the same there, and we have 15 of those. So if you're looking for an Easter basket, we have those available. They are available and ready to ship and pick up. And just make sure here I can see my comments if any come up. Just wanted to remind you of those. And they also just make great activity baskets. So if you're grandma or grandpa, aunt, uncle, friend of a family, maybe the kids already have their Easter baskets ready, these would just make great activity baskets for the holiday weekend coming up as well. So you could use them for that. Okay. So let's make this tiered tray, raised tray project. What I've got today, and let's go over just to my overhead camera so we can get the whole picture, and I'll talk about what I have here. So I've got 2 pieces of wood. My idea would be to create a raised tray with this larger piece, and then have another little tray that can sit on top of it if I want, kind of offset size wise here. So this bigger piece of wood is a 2x12, so it's 1.5, it's a nice thickness, 1.5, but you could use a 1x12, so it's 11.5 inches wide. That's a 2x12, the nominal width, I guess you could call it, and I think this is about 12 inches long, but let me check. I just grabbed a scrap piece, 12 inches long, scrap piece of wood out of my garage, and then I grabbed this piece. This is a 2x6, and it's about 10 inches long. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to paint these, distress them, and then I've got these little handles and knobby things that I've picked up at there it goes. I picked these up at garage sales and thrift stores because, well, I like to hoard weird odds and ends. So I had these on hand. So these little wood knobs, I think, are wood doll heads, I believe. Like I said, I picked these up at a probably a garage sale or a thrift store. And then these are just old wood knobs from like a dresser or something. So I'm going to use those. And then I have these, I'm not even sure what these are, but they're just little wood, little washer type things that I might use to offset my knobs to give me some legs. So I'm going to use these as the legs that will raise these up and give me that cute little raised tiered tray look. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is, and as you can see, I didn't sand these, I just grabbed them. I'm going to leave them rustic and kind of worn look, but if you wanted something a little smoother, you could definitely sand your wood and get more of a clean look there. So what I'm going to use to create my rustic worn look is this Waverly's Inspirational Wax in an antique color. I got this at Walmart, and it's kind of like a stain, and it's got a little bit of wax in it, so I can get that wood, the dark edges on my piece. So I'm going to start with that, and then I've just got some craft white paint that I will use a chip brush to wipe on and give it that worn look. So those are the 2 pieces that I'm going to do. Okay, so we'll move the little legs out of the way, and we'll start by applying our wax here. And so because this piece is quite large, I'm just going to go right on top of it. And then I've got 2 different chip brushes here. I'll use this small one, and this stuff just wipes on. It's a really great alternative to stain. like a dark walnut or a dark walnut stain. It's not stinky, it dries fast. It's got a little bit of wax in it, so it can give you a nice finish. So you just wipe it on and then you wipe it off to, you know, buff it up with that wax. And most of this is gonna get covered with white paint anyways. So I'm not too concerned how clean it looks or how smooth and even, I guess, it looks. So I've just got some extra on the top of this piece that I'm using to finish this piece with. So who has seen the tiered tray, and who has a tiered tray that they decorate? Anyone else seen that craze going on about decorating with just little pieces of holiday items with some maybe greenery on the tiered tray, and then you just swap out the little pieces every holiday? It's a great idea if you don't like to decorate full blown for the holidays. Maybe you just want to throw a few pieces out, and then it's all contained on that tiered tray. Okay. So I have a ton of wax here that I'm able to then just finish this piece with. So I'm getting all of the edges, but I'm not going to do the bottom because, well, that's going to have the legs and nobody's going to see the bottom anyways. So I'm going to save myself the hassle and time, but you definitely could give it a complete finished look there. And like I said, I'm coming over this with white, so you can see I'm really even not going to worry too much about this edge here. Okay. So there's that one. And now we'll do the edges of this one here. You could also apply this with like a baby wipe. I've seen people use just like a wet rag or even a dry rag. You could apply it that way. Baby wipes have seemed to be very popular right now in applying different paints and techniques. Need a little bit more for these edges here, so I'll put some on my plate here. Let me see. So, let's see. We've got Elizabeth. Hi, Katie. Pamela. Good afternoon, Bonnie and Casey and Linda. Is anyone traveling for the holiday weekend? That's actually next weekend. Isn't that crazy? Easter is upon us already. So if you didn't have scrap wood, you could also just pick up maybe a tray at the thrift store and repurpose that and put little legs on it, and that would work too. I've seen people use picture frames for doing this craft. You know, just take the glass out or leave the glass in, and Then you're able to change out that paper underneath the glass. You could put different paper in. So that would be really pretty too, just to repurpose old picture frames. And then just put little legs on it. And you could use little wood beads, old knobs to use as legs. So next I'm just coming in and wiping off that excess. Just an old towel here. This top, the piece that I poured it down on has quite a bit on it, so we want to make sure to get most of that off. And the more that you rub this wax, the softer it gets. With that Waverly wax. Kind of gives it a nice finish, which works great when you're then applying paint on top of it, because it doesn't all the way soak in, so you're able to get a really cool rustic look. So the paint kind of just glides over it. It does adhere, but not nearly as good if it was just, you know, the bare wood. Kind of creates a seal on that wood. Okay. There we go. And so you can still see some of those markings come through, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm going to be covering most of this with that white paint anyways, so we are okay with that. Alright, so before I go on, I'm going to let these dry for just a minute and then come in and paint my little balls and knobs here. So just a quick little coat, and then I'm going to throw it in that rig and buff that out. And so here's one. Quick little coat. I didn't even worry about getting it on all the edges. As soon as I put this in the rag and move it around, that's going to help spread that wax on all sides. So there we've got two. And these littler pieces, it might be even easier to use that wet one to apply the pieces. Might not be quite as messy as the way I'm doing it. Alright, we've got those four, and then my idea was, I've got these they're like little washers, little wood washers, but I thought I could glue these together and create just a little bit more raised tray, as opposed to just these on the bottom. So I've got that for those, and then for the smaller tray, I'm going to use these knobs here, and they've got a good height to them. So it's kind of my idea. You could also use metal little knobs for this purpose. If you had some really pretty silver ones or black ones would look great. And if you've created one of these, let me know too. Maybe you have one sitting on your counter already. So if you guys like to craft, make your own thing, but maybe you don't want to buy all the supplies for it or shop around for all the supplies and then have extra, or maybe you forgot something, I do want to let you know that we do have the Joy Box, which is our monthly DIY craft box. And that's opening tomorrow for new members. And so every month we ship out a DIY kit. It's exclusive, and it's an exclusive design to the kit. We ship out all the items you need. So the wood blank, the paint, the brushes, the glue, and then after they've been shipped out, we go live in a private Facebook group, typically on the 15th or mid-month, depending on the month and when the 15th falls. We go live and show you how to make it. There's also instructions. If you'd rather just print the instructions out, you can do it that way. And that is $37 a month, and that includes shipping. So it's a great deal to have everything you need in one box, shipped right to your door. You don't have to worry about going shopping or forgetting a supply or anything like that. And it's so fun to be in the community where we all share how we've created our pieces. Everyone's a little bit different. It's awesome to see everyone's ideas and different takes on the kit. Everyone does it just a little bit different, which is great. So if you're interested in that, head over to my website, and along the top you'll see the Joy Box top or Joy Box tab. It's redbirddesigns.com/joybox, and you can find more information about that there. Okay, so actually I'm going to just get a new plate out so we're not messing with that one. So now we're going to add a coat of white paint, and I'm going to use a chip brush for this. I like using a chip brush for creating a rustic look because the bristles are fairly stiff, they're spread out, and it gives you this just really soft or jagged, worn look when you brush it across, as opposed to maybe like a brush like this where the bristles are a little softer and it gives you a more smooth finish. Almost out of white paint here. Okay, so before I go on, I'm going to just quickly put in the comments to, let's see, to the Joy Box here real quick. There's that. And then the link, let's see if I can find it real quick here. Here's the link to the shop if you are interested in getting a bunny bucket. And so there's still time for shipping on that. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning for the bunny box. Bunny buckets, excuse me. Too many B's in my sentence right now. Okay, so we're gonna take this chip brush, I'm gonna add a little bit of paint to it, and then to get that worn, dragged look, I'm gonna use a really light pressure and lightly just drag it across my surface so it barely just deposits any of that paint. And so if I just lightly go back and forth here, you can see how that's just got this really great effect on the wood, and it picks up the different variances in the wood. If there's a little gouge there, it's going to pick it up a little different. It picks up that wood grain really cool. So I'm going to do that along all the edges, but here in the middle I do want it a little more solid. So I'm going to just start by going over the entire thing. And we'll go back and forth here. Just with a really light coat to start with, and then I'll come back into that middle area and add a little bit more. So we've got this great start here. Okay, so now we can come back in with that second coat. I like to just lightly go over the entire thing first and then come in second coat and add that more solid white where I want it. And you can make these as rustic as you want. Add more or less paint, however you want to do it. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to lift it up and do the same on the sides. And this is where the wood grain is really coming through. We've got some of this saw mark here that's going to pick up that paint. And we'll flip it or turn it here. Just a light drag of paint on the edges. So you can see that saw mark there too. And even if you sand your wood fairly well to get a nice smooth finish, your paintbrush, and if you drag it across, it's still going to pick up some of those saw marks a little bit, but not as prominent if you do sand it. There we go, there's that one, and we'll push that aside for a minute, and we'll do this one. Start with a light coat, and then just keep adding layers until it's got enough of the white that you want on it. Call that good on that side there. flat edge. This has got this really great knot right here that's picking up some of that paint. Let's see, what do I got left here? I got this side. And one last side here. So if you're applying your paint like this and you decide that you've added too much, you want to bring back some of that dark stained color, you can just sand it. Just take a piece of sandpaper and sand off some of that paint, and it should take you back to that dark wax. If you take off some of that wax, you can just reapply that as well and just add that layer on top. So there's really no way to do it wrong. Like I said, if you get too much paint for your liking, you've decided you want to go a little lighter or have that more dark stained look, just sand it off and you should be good. Alright, so I'm not going to apply the paint to my little knobs yet. I might do that after I glue them on. I'm going to pull my blow dryer out real quick and dry these off so I can flip them over and add the legs here. Just 1 second. Sorry about the noise. We are good and dry. And like I said, you could even take this and rough up that paint just a little bit more. Okay, so let's flip this over. Let's make sure my glue gun is on. It is. So I'm just going to use a glue gun for this. But you could use like an E600 glue. You could use a tacky glue, super glue, whatever you have on hand. And so I've got these little legs I think I'm going to put on this one. So I'll show you what those look like. Can I? No. So we've got these little legs that are going to stick off like that. So it's just going to raise it about 1.5 inches. And 1 second, I'm going to let my pup out because he's whining. And he'll start barking pretty soon if I don't. So, like I said, I'm going to use glue here, but another thing that you could do, because these have the holes, because these are knobs, you could use a screw and really attach these permanently, you know, so they're not going to accidentally fall off. But this is just a decorative piece for me, so I'm okay with just using a little bit of some hot glue, and I'm just going to eyeball it where I want those legs. Kind of thinking I want to keep the edge of the leg flush with the edge of the tray. That's my goal. There we go. Give them a good press. They'll be dry in just a minute. And then we've got these cute little feet. And we've got this cute little tray. So my idea is, my thought is I've got this tray here, and I've got a little bit of pink that's coming through still that I'll probably add a second coat on here from that marking in the wood. But honestly, this is gonna sit on top of it and create this tiered tray for decorating. So let's go turn this guy over and add the legs. So my idea is to create this a little bit of a taller leg using these two pieces. You could definitely just put that little knob right there, that little bead, and that would be good. But I think if we just raise it up a little bit, I think that would be cute. So we're gonna add, actually I'll just add the glue to the bead first. And then this little washer. I absolutely have no idea what it was used for. But there we go. Just created another height, or a little more height to that leg. There we go. So we'll do them all real quick and then we'll glue them down. Go back, add glue to the bottom here. And I am not measuring, guys, I'm just eyeballing it, which is going to be just fine. We're only going to see a hint of the legs anyways once they're on our counter or wherever it is we're going to use them. Make sure those dry, and there we go. Look at how cute those little feet are. So we've got this. It's gonna sit like that. Let's try and show you how they'll sit and then this will come in and sit there. Then we have this shelf we can put stuff on here, and then just that second tier we can add there, just to raise up our elements. So let me just throw some more white on this pink spot here that came through. I might have to put a second or third coat, but that is just a quick little way you can make your own little raised tray for displaying items on. Let me take you back to my other screen so I can hold it up for you. And let's see here if I can make this a little bit bigger here. Okay. So that is our quick and easy tiered tray. So I have my bunnies that I made a couple weeks ago. If you're interested in making the bunnies, check the video out for that. Super easy, no sew, just some glue, some fluff, and some just a little bit of fabric. Great way to use up scraps. And so then this can sit here, maybe on the top. And we've got this little bunny tray. And then you can put some carrots along the bottom. So I've got these little carrot, I figure out where I'm at. So I've got these carrots that can sit at the bottom. And then let's see what else I got. I got some wood eggs, which I did have thoughts of painting these, but I think they look great just as is. So let's put these on here. And maybe one there. And let's see if I can scoot back far enough that I can show you this without dropping it all. So, how cute is that? And then you can just change out the display fairly easy on these little trays. They just take a few little things and it just makes such an impact, a statement piece. And you don't have to decorate your whole house. This would be cute on a tabletop as a centerpiece, and adding little bits there too. Let's see, thanks. Danita says, nice tray, love the paint job. Thank you, thank you. So adorable, yes. So yeah, just wanted to show you that because, well, I don't have one and I thought, well, that'd be cute to make one, and here we go. So if you didn't have wood and you missed the beginning, maybe you didn't have these pieces of wood to make the tier tray, you could use, repurpose just an old tray from the thrift store, paint it, distress it, add little legs to it, and now it's a raised display piece. And you could also use old frames. You could take the glass out and if you wanted to, or leave the glass in, and then instead of inserting a picture, you insert some scrapbook paper or pattern paper, and then switch it out for the seasons too. That would be super cute to do. And then add legs to the bottom, so you could do a 8.5 by 11 bottom piece, and then maybe a 5 by 7 top piece, and tier them that way too. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to show you that real quick, and hopefully that inspires you to do some crafting this week, do some crafting this weekend, and help you with different ways to display your items, whether they're holiday or not. So I think that's it. I don't see any questions. Yeah, so don't forget, bunny buckets are available, and we still have time for shipping. They make great grandparent gifts if you need an activity for the holiday weekend or just an Easter basket. They're art-centered activities, so there's paint and canvas and a garland and then a couple other little activities and some treats and things like that. Joybox opens tomorrow. That's our DIY craft membership monthly box where we send you a craft every month with everything you need to create a beautiful object for your home. We have live tutorials to show you how to do it, and those will be that will be open tomorrow. Okay, so I will let you go. You guys have a great rest of the day, and we will talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.